Okay, so good morning, guys, and thanks for joining. Today we'll be continuing our Jenkins session. So we would be continuing with our Jenkins day 10 today. Sorry, guys. I couldn't yesterday. I couldn't really upload the notes. Today I'll do it because yesterday the net was really slow, and you see that yesterday I tried to upload the video very late night at 1 o'clock night. The video got uploaded into the channel actually, so it took a lot of time. So in the yesterday session, right, that is in the day 9 session, we had discussed on on majorly on your build triggers, right? So first we understood like how exactly in the organization the build happens. So there is something like a day build and night build which we had discussed, and after that like we discussed about the build trigger. It means that at when exactly you need to build the project. So based on the requirement, right, you will set up the build triggers in your freestyle project, right? In the freestyle project there is a section of the build trigger. So we understood all those things, and later at the end we also tried to learn about how to integrate your Jenkins with a GitHub. That's what we ended yesterday, right? So what would be learning today? So we'll be learning about the pipelines, Jenkins pipeline. Okay. So there are two types of pipelines are there. One is nothing but the scripted pipeline, and the next is nothing but your declarative pipeline. So you can say scripted versus declarative pipeline. Now, before this pipeline, so now the question comes, right, Rajesh, why did you start it so early on pipeline? So it is necessary, guys, because like now we learned about something on the freestyle project. We have executed many projects, right? We created a lot of freestyle projects and we executed it. Now it's a good time that we start learning about what exactly pipeline, right? And how to implement pipelining everything. Because this is what which is being mostly asked in interviews, right? Anyone in the industry also, if you go to any company, right, you will be told to you'll been told to write a declarative pipelines actually. Now before this pipeline, guys, let me tell you something. Let me listed out certain things which we need to learn actually. So things to learn. What are things we need to learn, or what are things which we need to understand it actually? Okay. See, like whenever you're working on any freestyle project, okay, whenever working on a freestyle project, you always see that actually the freestyle project doesn't maintain any kind of a history. It means that suppose, for example, okay, I'll do one thing. Let me log into the Jenkins server. So this is my Jenkins servers. All are up and running. So I need to log into the Jenkins UI. So I'll just try to click on this and then copy the public IP address. Go over here to the port number 8080. So this is what you will be giving, right? So I'll give my username and I'll give the credential, username and the password. See, I'm able to log into my Jenkins dashboard. So this is my dashboard, right? Now you take any job, like for example, if you take Game of Life demo one, right? This is basically a freestyle project. See, whenever you see any freestyle project, you would see that if you go under the configuration, you'll try to understand, okay, these are the sections we have. So by seeing this section which is there under the configure, you'll get to know that this is the freestyle project. And you know that in many industries, right, even today also, a lot of companies or industry, they still adapt to use or they still try to write all jobs in the freestyle project only. But slowly what happened now, people started moving out from the freestyle project to the pipelining way. That's how people have started working together, going together. So basically, always your freestyle project always depend upon UI. It means that there is a lot of UI interfaces there where with the help of a UI interface, you'll try to give an input, right? And once you give an input, what you know very well that once you save and once you apply and save, right? Basically, what happened when you are creating a configuration, you know that under our Jenkins home directory, it is going to create one file known as a build.xml file. Right? Remember, like long back we had discussed, right? Under home directory, there are two are there. One is the jobs and other is a workspace. Under the jobs, what happened, right? It'll try to create a game of life hyphen demo. That's a directory to create. Under that, it will going to create one build.xml file. Okay, build.xml file or config.xml file. You will see that those configuration files will get created as soon as you are creating a free cell project. Because how the Jenkins will try to run this job, it will try to run this job based on the build.xml file. Okay, fine. Now today, you did some changes here. today, okay, you did some changes, you have written, you have filled up all the details, whatever is required in the freestyle project, you will save and apply and you run it, okay, the build will get passed or the job will get passed. Okay, fine. Tomorrow again you will come and you try to open the same game of life demo one. Some more changes you will do into this project. Again save and apply, again run it. Now what happened, right? Each and every day or many times what happened, right? You will tend to do lot of changes based on your requirement. Now the question comes that is there any history has been maintained on what are the changes you are doing it onto your project? No, because here what happened by default, what happened, right? The Jenkins Free Shell project UI, there is no option where you can maintain any kind of history. So here, what is the first thing, guys? Is that actually the freestyle project creates the XML files. We know that is a build.xml or config.xml file in the Jenkins home directory. So guys, can you tell me what is the home directory for Jenkins? Can you tell me, any one of you can unmute and tell me what's the home directory for Jenkins? We already learned in the second day or third day of our session. Never should you shouldn't forget all these things, guys. If you're practicing, you should know all these things. This is one of the intro question. What's the home directory for Jenkins? /var/lib Jenkins. Under /var/lib Jenkins, you know that you'll be having some important directories. Jobs will be directory will be there, as well as workspace one directory will be. There are many directories are there, but jobs, under the jobs only what happened, right? These XML files are getting created under this jobs directory. Okay, fine. So the freestyle project create under the freestyle projects, it creates XML files in the Jenkins home directory under the jobs directory. Fine. So I'm not writing all this, just I'm telling you. Okay, and there is no version information is maintained. So now, how to resolve this issue or how to resolve this? This is the important question comes. Okay. These are things which we need to learn actually. That's what I said. There are things to learn now. Fine. What is the next thing? Static code analysis. Yeah, we need to learn that also. Static code analysis. Static source code analysis. We will learn that slowly. In upcoming sessions, we will be learning about static code analysis. The third point is that when you are archiving the artifactory, you need to place in your remote repository. So archiving the what is can yeah archiving the artifacts in the repository server. This also we'll be learning now. And so now the next last question is that whenever the build fails or whenever the build pass, we need to be getting some or we need to send some kind of alert notification. So how we are going to configure it? So whenever build pass or fail, usually whenever it fails, actually we say whenever the build fails, we should be or we should be sending the alerts actually. How we are going to send the alerts? So usually we have something like a mails. Using mails, we send a alert notification via the email saying that this particular build has passed and this is what the logs we are able to see. Like that, you'll be sending an email to the developer. Correct, guys? We'll be sending the email to the developer. So the question comes out how to configure this. So these are all the items which we need to learn, guys. Correct? You agree with me? Okay. So how when we are going to learn all this? Yeah, in our upcoming session, in other 3-4 classes, right, we'll be learning about all these things actually. Fine, good. But so while we are learning this, it is better that we kickstart with learning the Jenkins pipeline, because while working on Jenkins pipeline, I will come across with many of these things. Whatever the things which we have to learn, right, we will be coming across while learning the Jenkins pipeline. That's what today I need to start on Jenkins pipeline, because we need to even learn all these open items also. Okay, so pipelines basically. Okay, pipeline, right? So basically, what happened? Jenkins pipeline, guys. There are two types of pipelines are there. There are two types of pipelines. So Jenkins pipeline, there are two types of pipelines. What are those? Scripted pipeline. We call this as a procedure also. Procedural. Procedure pipeline versus the declarative pipeline. This is the first scripted pipeline you have to learn, and this is a declarative pipeline, right? So when the Jenkins was released, right? When the Jenkins was released, during the first release of sorry, during the first release of the Jenkins itself, what happened, right? We were able to configure any kind of a job using the freestyle project or freestyle method. At the same instance, even they had released even the scripted pipeline also. So what exactly is scripted pipeline or what is declarative pipeline? Something like you are implementing the pipelining with some kind of a code, we say. So what we say, pipeline as a code. It will be that you will be configuring the whole job with some kind of a coding or with some kind of a code, which we call as a pipeline as a code. It means that if whenever you want to learn the scripted or declarative pipeline, you need to know that how to exactly write in a code. So all this says in the freestyle, what happened, guys? You are always going creating a freestyle project, and you're filling all these different sections of your freestyle project, right? To achieve your requirement. Now the same stuff, whatever you are trying to do with sorry, with the freestyle project, can I try to write in terms of a pipeline? Yes, you can write it. So then what is the requirement of pipeline? Then if we had a freestyle project, then what is the requirement of the pipeline? Why we have to learn the pipeline now? Because I'm very happy with the with our freestyle only. Then what is the need of going with the scripted pipeline, guys? Scripted pipeline or declarative pipeline, there are a lot of advantages are there compared to the UI, right? What are those advantages? I will tell you later. Once we start understanding the pipeline, or once we start writing a simple pipeline, and when we try to execute it, like there you can see the benefit of having a pipeline. So you will a user, whoever is configuring a job, right, he will get a better control of, of the job, right, with the help of a pipeline, right? So he can do a lot of alteration, he can do a lot of the changes based on his requirement while writing a pipeline. So pipeline will give that kind of a flexibility for the user, so that he can configure many things. There are many things are there where a user cannot achieve through the freestyle project. He will be tend to go into the pipelining only. So what are those advantages or what are those disadvantages? If there are any disadvantage, what are those disadvantages? Everything we'll be learning now. But guys, what you have to understand, okay, now there is something like, what are the freestyle projects which you have already developed or which already the project has? Suppose in your company you have a lot of freestyle project written. So there is a requirement will come that your manager someday he might come and say that, hey, convert all these freestyle projects into the pipeline projects. He will come and tell you. So you should be in a ready, you should be in a state where you can start converting or migrating all those jobs. And what is it? You need to just learn few stuff, basic stuff, to just convert all those freestyle projects into the pipeline project. Am I clear, sir, till here? Any doubts you have, guys? Just let me know if you're able. Did you understood whatever I'm telling you, Gopal sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So yes. So now what happened, right? You need to learn some kind of a code. It means that some basic code you need to understand, like to implement the pipeline. That's what we'll be doing. And as I know that in industry, most of the companies right now, what happened, they switched everything, writing the whole job into the pipeline only. Either scripting pipelining or declarative pipeline, you can use any method. But most of the time, 95% of the companies, they started using declarative pipeline. Scripted, I don't see anyone using it, but still, yeah, this is there because this is a legacy one. This is a legacy one. That's the reason what happened, right? People have some pipelines which we have written in the scripted method or in the procedure method. There are some people who are maintaining that, but nowadays you could see that anyone who is working on it, they will be start working everything directly as a declarative pipeline. So what is this pipeline as a code? Pipeline as a code. Builds, what are the build is there? No? The build steps are expressed in the format of code, we say. Also, what are the job you write? You write some kind of in kind of a format of the code. Now the thing comes, Rajesh, whether we want to learn the coding and no, not really required. You need to learn some basic thing. That's all. So do you have to become a coder or you need to have a knowledge on coding and all? No, it's not required. You need to learn some basic stuff. That's all. Okay, nothing more. Okay, so nothing to worry here. Okay, and okay, so all the pipeline. So Jenkins has a developed actually. It has Jenkins has a developed a domain specific language. We call it as a DSL, domain specific language, based on Groovy language. So guys, you will be initially started writing the scripted pipeline, and scripted pipeline we are using internally Groovy language syntax. We are using a Groovy language itself to write a scripted pipeline. So Groovy language was actually derived from your Java actually. So Groovy is derived from Java. It means that whatever the Java formats or syntax or whatever the functionality which you see in the Java, right? You could see that most of them are followed by the Groovy also. So whenever you started writing pipeline, that is a scripted pipeline is mostly depend upon the Groovy style. It means that you need to learn about the Groovy language also. But here in our case, because we are being a DevOps engineer, do you have to really learn the Groovy language? Not really required, right? As of now, at the initial stage, not really required. Yeah, in future, like as you start working in more and more in DevOps and more when you start working on Jenkins, so there is a requirement that you need to learn, Groovy into some more details, right? So there are many PDFs are there, articles are there in the net which you can browse and you can try to learn the Groovy language. But as of now, at the very initial stage, beginning stage, yeah, I don't need to learn really the Groovy. Okay. So, but you say that Rajesh, how I can write a scripted pipeline if I doesn't know Groovy. So there's a syntax, pipeline syntax creator is there, extractor is there. By using that, you can actually generate the syntax and you can write it. So that I will show you after some point of time. But as of now, yeah, I don't need it. But now some of you might have observed very clearly in many of the jobs requirement. If you go to some job requirement, maybe some company might come up with their own job requirement saying that okay, I need a DevOps engineer of 5 to 6 years of experience. Okay, and then he need to know all these things. He need to know Docker. He need to know Kubernetes. He need to know Terraform and all, right? And if you come down, right, he would also ask when column will be there where he'll be asking, should be good at Groovy language, should be good at Python, should be good at shell scripting. Like that, one line will come where there is a requirement that yeah, you should also know have a knowledge on Groovy also. So some industries are actually working more on Groovy, right? So that's the reason they might ask you about the Groovy questions also in interview. Suppose if you have put in a resume or you have purposely mentioned in your resume that in some of the project you have used Groovy language and all, right, definitely those hiring company will definitely ask you the question. So be ready. If you're not putting anything on Groovy in your resume and like if they ask you, you can straight away say that yeah, I have some basic knowledge, not very in-depth knowledge. Maybe you might be expecting in-depth, but I don't have that much knowledge. So it depends upon the interview whether he want to take you or not. So he might reject you because sometime what happen, some industries they no, they really need a people who is very good in Groovy actually. So always, guys, whenever you have a time, right, whenever you get a time, like start just exploring what is a Groovy language and all. It's basically it's very simple. You can learn by your own. You need not to have any training and all for that. So you need to just officially go through the documentation and try to understand the syntax and start writing a simple Groovy file. Just one script of Groovy of 4 5 lines every day. You start working on it. You will see after some point of time you will become really good at writing a Groovy scripting. So that's what I would say at this point of time. So, but for our sessions, whatever we are working on, we need not to really know the Groovy anything actually. But yeah, as I said, right, you need to understand in the near future because nowadays many companies they started working on this Groovy also. Okay, so okay, okay, guys. So, lot of other, like lot of other, CI/CD tools are also based on pipeline as a code. It means that many of the CI/CD pipeline, like for example, you are having a GitHub Actions, or else you are having a GitLab, or else you are having an Azure DevOps, right? Or else you will be having a a Bamboo CI/CD. Many of the tools, guys, whichever the CI/CD pipeline tool, right? Like for example, Circle CI, Travis CI. You have n number of tools available in the market, right? Jenkins, along with Jenkins, many other tools are there, right? Even most of the tools, not most, almost all the tools are different CI/CD tools will also or will also support for the pipeline as a code. It means that they also you can implement all kind of jobs in pipelining, right? For example, like if you want to talk about something like you have a Azure DevOps. So here what happened in case of a Jenkins, whenever you're writing any pipeline, you need to follow the domain specific language or nothing but you have to use a Groovy language to write the pipeline. Similarly, if you want to write a pipeline in Azure DevOps, then the Azure DevOps pipelining are in a YAML format. Are in a YAML format. Similarly, you are having a GitLab. GitLab is also, as according to my knowledge, it is YAML only. Okay. So it means that whenever you are writing any GitLab under the GitLab, you are trying to write a pipeline. So you need to follow, or you will be writing in a YAML format. Similarly, you will be writing your GitHub Actions. What are the GitHub Actions are there, right? That also is YAML only. So guys, the CI/CD pipelining in various different tools, the way format of that might be differing, but ultimately at the end, right, the goal is same. It means that what exactly your pipeline does. Oh, okay, basically, whenever the code is checked into some source code versioning or into some kind of a code versioning tool like Git, right? What you are doing, or you need to first do the code pull. Okay, fine. After doing the code pull, what you do, you try to do build it. It means that you try to do a packaging. So once you're packaging, finally what you're doing that you are actually even archiving the artifact trace, even right all the JUnit results also you are testing. So the baseline is same actually. It means that every CI/CD does that the same thing, but the internal format what they use it or else for your writing pipeline, okay, it might differ from one tool to other tool. But the basic, but the end, right? What exactly each and every CI/CD does? It's the same thing. It does a code pull from the gate. It try to build a package, and finally it's going to create an archive, or it's going to create a var or jar or ER file. And finally, you are archiving everything, and you keep it in a repository, right? As well as what happened, whatever the JUnit tests are there, right? That test results, right? You will be sharing those results to the developer. So that is what at the base you will be doing it. Same thing will happen in each and every tool, but every tool has the pipelining concept, and the format of writing a pipeline differs from one tool to other tool. Like for example, you are having Azure DevOps. Now guys, if you go to the net, you go to the net and if you go to the net, and here what you do, you go to the net and you just say that okay, Azure DevOps pipeline example. See, if you come down, you might get many kind of links actually. If you go to this medium.com, right, this is a very good link actually, where you'll get some information. See, if you scroll down, okay, it is not there because I need to purchase it. I need to have an account, okay, or else if you are going to some other link, you can go with the Microsoft also. But I'm really going to some other link like uh something like, yeah. Let me check this example. See guys, can you see? This is nothing but an Angular Azure pipeline .yaml. See, this is what the your Azure DevOps pipeline looks like. It is in the YAML format only. So the syntax is same actually. See, it also does the archive. It also publishes the code coverage results, right? So the baseline is same actually, but the implementation differs from one tool to other tool. Similarly, if you go to the what are the things which we have? We have a GitLab. GitLab pipeline examples. Just browse this like that. You need not to learn it. I'm just telling you. Come down. You might get a lot of links actually. Okay, open this any one of this link. See whether you are able to see any kind of a code. Okay, not this one, not this one. I need to have a code of your pipeline, right? Okay, not this. This is more on the UI part actually. Okay, I'm not interested in this. So basically, I want some kind of a code actually. Building a CSR using GitLab. Actually. Let's see if this has some code kind of a code. So this is all GUI. Okay, okay, we will be seeing all those things. I'm interested more into code. Yeah, this is what I need. See, guys, this is what the pipeline code which you will be writing actually. Yeah, and you could see that this is also written in the YAML format. So GitLab is also written. Same thing like GitHub Actions. You go to the net and you just say GitHub Actions pipeline example. So you can go to any link. Yeah, I'll go to this medium.com. Maybe this time I might get somebody has written. Yeah, somebody Michael Ekpong has written. This fellow has written many articles, guys. Like most of times I'll be following his articles also. So if you go down right here, you could see that he has written a GitHub action pipelines. He has written, and this is also it is in a YAML format. See, so you see that every like tool, right? The CI/CD tool, it has the pipelining concept. You need to write pipeline, and it has a format. You need to understand the format, and most of them you could see that it will be a YAML format only. Correct, guys? Do you agree with me? Okay. So now what happened, right? So my the first question comes to our mind, sir. Sir, when you are having a free shell project, as you mentioned here, that free shell project doesn't really maintain any kind of a versioning. Means it doesn't maintain any kind of versioning. Guys, any doubts you have? If you don't have any doubts, please mute yourself. Thank you. Yeah. So now the question comes, sir, when we are having Rajesh, when you are having a free shell project, the free shell project doesn't maintain any kind of a versioning. There is no versioning concept here because it doesn't maintain it actually. Okay, is there any way to maintain it? Yeah, you can maintain it. There is a plugin by name, what is it? I've forgotten the plugin. It is nothing but job config history. Yeah. If you go to the manage Jenkins and if you try to go into the plugin section, here if you go for available plugin section, there you can search for job config history. Okay, job configuration history. Can you see that? So if you want to install this plugin, right, you just click on this and just say install without restart, right, and again restart this. So now what happened that that plugin is getting installed. So with the help of that plugin in the free shell project, you can maintain some kind of a history. It means that whenever you're doing any kind of a changes, it will maintain a history. How it maintains history means whenever you are trying to give any kind of a like when you are configuring any kind of a job, you basically give some history tag you give. So with that help of a history tag, what happened, right, it's going to create or it's going to create a backup of the build.xml file. So with that way, what happened, right, guys, you will be able to maintain a history. If you go to, so let me log into the Jenkins. So that job oriented or job configuration uh, history plugin is installed, guys. Now if you go to anything, like if I go to the game of life, can you see here something here in the job? If you go inside, if you go to the configure, so it is not there. It used to have here, like we used to have here a job oriented like, let us second, let me just a second, guys. Let us go to the manage Jenkins, go to the plugin. So installed, let me check whether the job configuration history plugin is installed. Yeah, it is, but it is not enabled. You need to enable it actually. So you have to enable it. That's why it is not enabled. So restart. So I'm restarting the Jenkins one more time. So always it should be enabled. Once you install the plugin, make sure that it is enabled again. If it is not enabled, then you will not be able to see that UI actually into the Jenkins. Okay. Okay, I think the Jenkins is starting. Yes, it is restarted. Fine. Let me log in again to the Jenkins. Mhm. Okay. Now let me go into some job. Game of Life demo one. Can you see, guys? There is something like a new tab has come. Job config history. So it means that you are maintaining for this project you are maintaining history. Okay. Now if you click on this, okay, see here it is already maintained some history. The previous changes history it has maintained. So while maintaining a history, guys, what happened? Right, it's going to create an XML file, backup of XML file. See, if you click on this, view as an XML. See, this is what your XML file is all about. Now you say that, okay, Rajesh, I want to maintain one more history. I need to do some changes to this game of life, right? So what you will do that you will try to go to the configuration. If you go to the configuration, you configure. Can you see here? Job config history changes message. Okay. Now you say that Rajesh, I want to use the poll SCM actually, not this one. I need to use a poll SCM. So what you will write here? You'll just say that first change to include or to the build triggers to use build trigger as poll SCM something. So what you will do, you come over here and instead of this one, I'll go with the poll SCM. Okay, and then what happened at whatever appropriately you read it like that. You give this and you will apply and save it. So like that. Now what happened at this job configuration history you will again maintain one more. See, can you see it? It has maintained. Now what it is maintained? Oh, now it what are the changes are there? The changes is that actually you are maintaining as a you are enabled the using the poll SCM method, right? So it has created this XML file. So this is what, guys, it will always maintain a history of what are the changes you did actually. That's what job config history does. But this is not that good actually because people usually are not using this method. So I would suggest also you not to go with this actually, right? But yeah, there is an option in the UI in the official project. If you want to maintain history, means you need to install that plugin, job config history of job configuration history plugin. You need to install this. Then only you'll get it actually. So I don't want to really use this as of now. So I'll go with the dashboard, right? And I'll go with the manage Jenkins. So I don't want to really have that, but yeah, it is possible. That's what I'm telling you. Go to the manage Jenkins, go to the install plugin. Now you could see that job configuration history. Yeah, you can uninstall it actually. Click on this, you can uninstall it. So I'm just uninstalling this. Okay, that's all. So I don't want it, I just uninstalled it. So that's how you can maintain it. Or else, what is a different way you can maintain it? So basically, guys, what happened, right? Basically, you can maintain the history with the help of a pipeline as a code. It means that whenever you are implementing a pipeline, so basically what happened, right? You will try to create a pipeline everything along with the source code. Like whenever you have a source code, along with the source code, there is something like a Jenkins file, a file name with the name Jenkins file. You will create it. So whenever you are trying to do any kind of a change, right, you will always be doing a git commit actually. So during the commit process, automatically git will maintain a versioning actually. So you need not to maintain it separately. So in that way, what happened, right, you can maintain all kind of a history of what are the changes you did for your job with the help of this pipelining. That is what one of the advantage of pipelining, that actually you will playing with the source code. It means that what are the source code is there. Here, can you see here, guys? Yesterday, what we did in our GitHub account, right? In a GitHub account, I try to fork the game of life, right? See, I try to fork, and also you know that yesterday I created one branch, not the sprint one underscore develop branch, right? So under this branch, guys, I need to create one file with the name Jenkins file like this. I'll be telling you about later what is the Jenkins file. Just you try to understand now. So I'll be creating a file with the name Jenkins file with this name, where the file name it always starts with a capital J, and all should be the lowercase letter. This is the file name which I'll be creating here under the source code. A file will be created with the name Jenkins file. So this Jenkins file is the one which actually maintains the entire your pipeline. Uh, the whole pipeline code will be maintained within this file actually. So when you are maintaining this file, obviously, if you are trying to do any changes to this file, automatically what happens, the Git always will maintain a versions. You need not to do explicitly. Git will maintain a version. That version change is what which you will be maintaining as a history. It means that suppose tomorrow you want to say that, okay, Rajesh, 5 days back I did some changes into the whole Jenkins project. I want to go. No problem, man. Go to your Git account. In the Git account, go to your you can go to the 5th day which you have did the changes. There you can see what are the changes you did into this Jenkins file. So when you see the changes, you will understand or you can recall, okay, okay, these are the things which I did the changes on the 5th day. So like that, what happened, right? Automatically Git will maintain all the history changes you need to do. So this problem, which the builds the freestyle project has, this is now resolved by your pipelines. That's the reason you are tending to go always with the pipeline, because like you will maintain the whole code in your source code repository only. Here itself under the source code repository only, you will be creating a pipeline here, and that pipeline you'll be implementing within the file by name Jenkins file. Is it clear, guys? Now, so what is an advantage of having a pipeline? Okay, what are the advantages of pipeline as a code? So what are the advantages? So the pipeline will be the part of the source code repo, right? That is, version will be maintained. How it will be maintained? With the help of a file, with the help of the file by name Jenkins file. This is the file name which will be created. So this is your source code, correct? This is a whole source code of the game of life. Here you will be creating a file with the name Jenkins file. Later I'll be showing you, right? All these things. Okay, this is the advantage. Second, what is the second point? What is the advantage of the pipeline as a code? So you are trying to do a branch-wise build actually. So branch-wise build changes can be handled easily. So guys, you know that you have something as a day build and night build. You know that yesterday we learned about something like day build and night build. So you know that I always try to create a different jobs. Oh, there's a different Jenkins job altogether by name day builds. There's a different job by name altogether by name night builds. So if you are having a separate branch and you are trying to do all kind of a build into the separate branch, it is very easy to maintain. It means that whatever the changes you are doing onto this nightly build or the day builds, right? A user can track all those changes, and appropriately he can change based on his requirement later. So that's the reason what happened, right? Pipelines are very advantageous because, right, whenever the branch wise build comes, right, the changes can be handled very easily. This is very important, right? So that's the reason. And as I said earlier, right, you will be maintaining a file with the name Jenkins file. So what is that file name? Again, I'll write it with the name is Jenkins file. So guys, always it is in the uppercase and this will be lowercase. So guys, this Jenkins file, this concept was there even when you are using scripted pipeline also. Even in the declarative pipeline also, you can implement the Jenkins file. But what happened, right? When the Jenkins was released at the very early stage, when the first version of released, when the first version of the Jenkins was released, right? So at that time, what happened? The freestyle project was there. At the same time, even the scripted pipeline is also was there actually, and scripted pipelining was strictly following this Jenkins file name. It means that you need to have a with the same name, right? With the same name in your source code file. But now, after the new versions started coming up, like the Jenkins version 2 started coming up, or 3, whenever new versions are started coming up, what they said that you can have the Jenkins file name with some other name also. I can write Rajesh Jenkins file, like that I can write, and I can keep it. But generally, what happens in industry, right? People won't keep the name as with some other name. They'll tend to go with the same name, whatever it is provided by the legacy Jenkins. So even today also, I don't know whether if you have gone through some of the Jenkins projects in your company. I have gone through some of the Jenkins projects which is there in our company, right? I see that everywhere they are maintaining the same name with the same file name, Jenkins file, like that. But you can change it. So now the newer version of the Jenkins, what happened? That you can give any other name apart from this name. Like that is what the new stuff which has come now. Earlier, what happened when old back when the scripted pipeline was the scripted pipeline always expect the Jenkins file with the same name. Whereas a declarative pipeline, yeah, you can give the same name Jenkins file, or else you can give some other name. Like for example, Rajesh Jenkins file, you can give. Okay, it will take and it will start build on it. It will take that file name and it will build on it. So that is what a small difference between Jenkins and scripted and declarative means. Declarative doesn't need this file name with the same name. You can have with any other name. Am I clear, sir, till here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Jenkins file,
Yes,
what
sir.
happened, right? This is the file in which we will be defining the pipelines. The code means you will be writing a code in this file. Pipelines, that's what code you'll be writing. Okay. Or you call it as a build steps. What are the build steps you write? That everything you will be writing inside this Jenkins file. Later now, after some point of time, we'll start seeing this also. How to write a Jenkins file, actually, right? So this is what it is, guys, actually. So earlier the name, right? Earlier or in first release of Jenkins, right? The name of the file supposed to be Jenkins file. Now in the latest uh, Jenkins version, you can have with any name. Like for example, just I'm telling you, okay, Rajesh Jenkins file. Like this, any name you can keep it. But in the older style, this was a name which was kept actually. Correct? Okay. Fine, guys. Okay. Now, what are the types of pipelines? So already we have mentioned pipeline types. What are the pipeline pipes? First is but the scripted pipeline, which we call it as a procedure pipeline. Okay, scripted pipeline. So scripted pipeline, what happened, right? This it is a procedural, we say, is a procedural oriented pipeline, and we can directly use the groovy code groovy code over here. It means that basically whenever you're writing a scripting pipeline, you will be following the groovy syntax, or you'll be using the groovy itself to write a scripted pipeline. Okay, fine. What about the other second one? The second type is nothing but your declarative pipeline. Okay, so this is in a declarative nature. So this is declarative oriented. It's a declarative oriented, and it is very easy to use. It is still evolving. It is very easy to work with. That you can say. Okay, right? So the guys, now what we'll do now, we will try to understand, right, how to write a simple pipeline, or else how to do it. Like for example, I will go here. I'll go to my Jenkins. Okay, so I'll go with a new item. Okay, so simple or else scripted pipeline, scripted pipeline demo, and you're right. You're giving some with some project name, scripted pipeline demo. And then if you come over here, can you see the section, this pipeline here? So click on this. All these days you are clicking on the freestyle project. Now you have to click on the pipeline. Click on the pipeline and then say okay. So guys, here what happened? You have few sections only. Earlier in the freestyle project, you could see that they should be usually you used to have some six like tabs actually, or the six sections within your configuration. But here you could see you are having general, advanced project option is there, and then you are having a pipeline. See, these are the only three sections which you are finding in your scripted pipeline or not, but under the pipeline. So under here pipeline, here it is saying that you can write the script here itself, the pipeline script here itself. Or else what happened, right? You can even do a pipeline script from SCM, source code management. It means that wherever you are having your source code, like for example, here you are having a source code. Under the source code itself, you can maintain your pipeline with the file name Jenkins file. So what you will be doing that most of the time you will see that in the industry that they would have chosen this option, scripted pipeline script from the HCM. Here, what happened, right? They will give the Git here, and they will give the Git URL like this. They'll give the Git URL like this, the Git URL like this. They'll give, and there, if you come down, okay, what is a branch? Okay, the sprint one underscore develop branch or else master branch, whatever. And then what happened? The script path is not see automatically shown. Oh, this is the file name which you will be maintaining within your code actually within your source code versioning. So most of the time you would see that in the industries when you are opening any kind of a pipeline, you would see that this is the option which they have. They will select it. It means that they will maintain the pipeline with the help of a Jenkins file within your source code only. Or else you say that Rajesh, I don't want to maintain it. No problem, sir. You can go here, select it, and start writing the scripting code from here. Or the whole pipeline you'll be writing here, and then say save and click on it. Clear? Till here, are you okay, guys?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, if you see carefully here, you are having a pipeline script. This is option. It means that this is a definition. Okay, it means that Rajesh, I need to start writing it, but I don't know Groovy. I don't know how to. I don't know what is a Groovy. I don't know the syntax of the Groovy or how I can start writing a Groovy. That I don't know. But can you see something like a pipeline syntax? This is what guys you need to understand. Or it means that okay, Rajesh, by using the syntax pipeline syntax, I can generate the Groovy script or I can generate the Groovy statements. Okay, I'll do one thing, guys. I'll do a right click and I'll open a new tab. Okay, let's see. See, this is nothing but your pipeline snippet generator. See, this is what the pipeline snippet generator. Now, guys, you know very well that whenever you're building any project, like for example, let me do one thing, let me save and apply. Okay, I will go to my dashboard and I'll go to the game of life demo one. And if you go to the configuration, so what you're doing here as a part of building, so you're building a game of life project and you're using a freestyle project. What is the first step which you're doing, guys? The first step you're doing is, but you need a source code management. Or it means that I need to have a code actually. So for that, you'll be selecting the Git and you'll be giving a Git URL, Git repository URL, and also you'll be specifying which branch you need it. Right? This is what the first most thing which you're doing, right? Whenever you're building any project, right, you have to mention that from which source code version you're doing. Okay, it is a Git. Okay, when you're selecting the Git, it'll ask you for some minimal information. What is it? Oh, you need a GitHub URL. Sorry, yeah, GitHub URL, as well as you need to provide a branch. So these are the two informations which you need to provide. If suppose if it is a credential, it means that if it is a private repository, then you give the credential. Or else, if it is a public repository, no need of any credential. So here there is no credential for this because all these are public repo. Now, Rajesh, the same thing, Rajesh, I want to achieve to the pipeline. Or it means that I need to write a code as for the pipeline so that I can do a code pull activity, or I can do this whatever you are doing here for the Git, right? Same thing I want to do. Okay, fine. For doing that, what we did, guys, we went to our scripted pipelining demo. There, what happened, right? If you go to the configure, there you could see that actually I have gone through this pipeline syntax. If you do a right click, you already opened it. Okay, fine, this is open. Now what you have to do, that always you need to search here. You could see that there's a sample test is given. See, it's a big menu. It's a big menu. Can you see there's something as a Git here? Yeah, it is there here. See, Git is there. Oh, good. Git is there. Oh, it is asking me some inputs. What is it? Okay, Rajesh, I want to give this Git URL. Okay, let me copy this because I have a project in my GitHub account. I'll give the same thing. Okay, after the what branch you are building in? Oh, I need to do work on the sprint one underscore develop branch. Okay, give the branch name here, sprint one underscore develop. Any credential you want to provide? Nothing. I need not to provide any credential because it's a public repository. Fine. Including plowing, including change, anything else. This let it be as it is. Now you could say generate pipeline script. So enter. See guys, it has generated the pipeline script. This is nothing but this is a pipeline script. You have to copy it, and while writing the job, like we'll be writing. So this is what the code snippet it has generated. Right? See, it says the git or using the branch colon, comma, and some git URL or GitHub your repository, right? So URL and it is taking this one. This is the whole syntax guy actually. This is a code snippet. This code snippet only you'll copy and you will start implementing it. Now, after some point of time, I will be showing like how to write everything. But right now you understood, right? Now, after this, what is the next thing which you're doing, guys? Once you do a code pull, what exactly you does next thing? What is the next you will be doing in a official project? If you go to the game of life demo and if you go to the configuration, okay, Rajesh, the next thing is that okay, I have completed this one, fine. I have completed this one, okay, my git one. After doing a code pull from the git, what the next activity you're doing? So forget about this and the poll sim and all. I'm not really doing all these things as of now. Even the build environment and also I'm not really much for it. Yeah, I'm directly going to the build step. Under the build step, you are calling a top level Maven target. Here you are specifying that oh Maven and you have to pass this clean package parameter or literally goal actually. Oh, okay, it means that after doing a code pull, you have to invoke the Maven. Or it means that Maven will be called where Maven will build it and it will try to build a package. Okay. Now in the code snippet or into your pipeline, how you will do it? Okay, Rajesh, I got this code snippet, which is nothing but this is nothing but the your groovy syntax no script line which you have generated actually. Now after this actually I need to build the code. Basically I need to have a Maven, right? So let me go to the code snippet here under the pipeline syntax generator. So I selected the git. Now let me check, is there any Maven? Is there Maven? Maven, Maven. See, there is no Maven, or it means that there is nothing like a Maven through which you can actually do it. But there is something known as a shell actually. Can you see here? SH shell. Okay, I can pass some command, right? Using the shell script, right? Select this SH shell. Now it says that what is the command you need to do? Okay, I need to run a mbn clean package. This is a command, right? You will be passing, right? Means for the building, you'll be calling mbn command, right? Mbn clean package. Now you generate the code snippet. See, generate. See, this is the command you got. See, this is nothing but your Groovy command, or nothing but this is a Groovy syntax. Copy this, paste it somewhere else like this, and maintain it like this. Okay, it means that first you need to while writing a pipeline, first for the source code you need to call this, and the second is that for building you need to call this. Like that, one by one you will be creating or you'll be generating the code snippet with the help of a pipeline syntax. So here it makes your life very easy. You need not to know the Groovy upfront. Later, after for some point of time, guys, you can start learning Groovy by your own. I'm not stopping you to learn Groovy, but what I'm trying that if you doesn't know Groovy, it doesn't mean that you cannot write a pipeline. You can still write a pipeline because right here the Jenkins itself will provide you something known as a syntax pipeline syntax uh, syntax generator. Like here, script pipeline demo. Go here, go to the configuration. So now you could see that your Jenkins will provide this pipeline syntax generator. With the help of this only, you are able to generate the code and you are copy pasting the code here inside it here. So this and all activity will be doing after some point of time now. But did you understand the overall, guys? You have to use this pipeline syntax whenever you are trying to write the pipeline. Whenever I trying to pipeline and trying to write the pipeline, you need to implement through the Groovy script. But since you don't know the Groovy script, you are depend upon this pipeline syntax. And this pipeline syntax, based on the inputs what you give, right, it will generate the code like this, and you will be using this code in your while writing a pipeline. Am I clear on this till here? Are you able to understand?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it difficult? Is it very difficult to understand?
Is it clear? No, no,
Okay.
it's not difficult.
Okay. So that's it. Then what we'll do, right? First, we will try to create our first pipeline for the day build project of your game of life, right? So what we'll do that let's create first pipeline for day build of game of life project. Correct? So you need to understand the syntax also, guys. Actually, you need to understand the syntax also. What is the syntax? So syntax for, so guys, I'll be using the scripted pipeline initially. Syntax for scripted pipeline. So what is syntax you follow? So you need to follow this syntax actually. Sorry. So what is the syntax you follow? So you'll write a file with the name Jenkins file. Okay. Under this, inside the Jenkins file, guys, you will be writing the syntax. So what is the syntax? Node, something with a label. So you have to use a quote like this. Okay. Then after that, you will be opening the bracket and closing the bracket. Okay. And inside this node, you will be having something like a stage here. Stage of what is it? Open the bracket, right? And you'll just say that build stage 1. Okay. Build stage 1, open the bracket and close the bracket for this. Inside this, you need to write some statement. What are those statement is done, but those are the build steps you will be writing. Okay. Similarly, you'll be having n number of stages like this. You are having stage 1. Like that, you are having a stage 2. See, stage 2. What is stage 2? Open like this. Build stage 2. Open the bracket, close the bracket. And inside this, you will be writing some kind of a build steps. Like this, guys, you will be having n number of stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, as well as like that, you have a stage n actually. Build stage n. Build steps. And close this with floor bracket. So, so guys, here whenever you are working on the pipeline, it is always important that you need to use the parenthesis here. Parenthesis is very important. Now you could see that you are writing a scripted pipeline. Always it starts with syntax with the name node, and you are providing the label, and you have to do open bracket. And within that node, you are having a multiple stages like that: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage n. And within inside the stage, you are writing some kind of a build step. And every stage will again open with the floor bracket and ending with the floor bracket. So open the floor bracket and close the floor bracket. Similarly, here also open the floor bracket and close the floor bracket. And this node and specifying the label, right? This should always open with the floor bracket, and you could see at the end also it should be closed with the floor bracket. If you are missing any kind of the floor bracket while writing it, or else you have written some extra floor bracket, or else you have not written any floor bracket actually, then there will be a serious syntax error. So always you should make sure that whenever writing any script file, this parenthesis will play a very vital role. You will understand the flow with the help of this parenthesis only. So this is a simple syntax, guys, for your scripted pipeline. Is it too difficult, guys, for you to understand?
No, sir. It is easy.
Is it
Each,
difficult? Yeah.
is it blocked, sir? You know, each stage is each parenthesis flower braces is which are under we are writing a code, right? That is a block, right? One block. That is
Yeah,
the
this
second.
stage. See what happened, right? If you go to here, see if you go to your free shell project, if you go to the free shell project, if you go to the configure, can you understand this has a various stages? Like stage
Yes.
1, source code management. Oh, this is one stage. Stage 2, build a trigger. Stage 3, build a node. Anyhow, we are not using. I'm just saying. Stage 4, build a step. Stage 5, post build action. So here you're having a multiple stages only, right? The conceptually it looks same only, right? Here you are
Yes.
based on this side. Same thing what happened in the pipeline also you are having something like a stage. Or stage one, pull the source code management. Stage two, build the code. Stage three, archive and JUnit result. Like that.
It might be follow the procedure, same procedure, sir, or it may be
Same.
a different, and the block is maybe first or can we
No,
write?
here what happened, right? These are
Yeah.
first block, second block, third block, sir. Like that, sir. Serially. Here for in the first block, here inside what will be maintaining source code management or source code pull. So here under this build step, you will be writing this step. You'll be copy pasting literally and step placing it here. Second one, build the code or package the build. In the step build here, you'll be copying pasting this here like this. Archiving the artifact and reporting. Some other commands are there like that. Here under each and every stage, you will be appropriately mentioning what you want to achieve.
Like we need to follow it sequentially, correct, Rajesh?
Correct. It's sequentially only, sir. One after the other. When you are executing this Jenkins file, right? Automatically, what happened? Right? First, the node will get called. Under which node, under which label you want to execute. After you understand, okay, there is a label is there. Now you call the stage first build, stage two build, stage three build, stage four. Like that, serially one after the other will get called. If any one stage is getting failed, right? The whole job will get failed, and it will come out from the execution, and it says the status as a failure. So if any one stage will get failed, the whole build process will get failed, or the whole scripted your scripted pipeline will fail. That is for sure. So always you have to make sure that even though the stages are there, right, each and every stage should get passed, because the first stage should get passed. Then only the second stage will run or it will work. If the first stage itself is failed, how the second stage will do its activity? It is failed only, right? It cannot do it actually. That's what. As soon as the stage is getting failed, the execution will immediately come out. But
So
sometime what happened, right? Yeah. But sometime what happened, right? In industry, what happened, right? There is a cases where you said, okay, Rajesh, there is some stage is there where even though it is failed now, I need to skip that failure. I need to proceed further to the next step or to the next stage. So you can even skip also. If it is a failure, you can skip and go further like that. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Ask me a doubt.
like we can see each stage status, no, sir, whether it is fast or
You
fail.
can check the status. Yeah, yeah. You can check there are some functions are there. Using that functions, you can tell whether it's passed or failed like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can test it, you need to mention all those conditions, sir. That's
Oh,
how you are making your pipeline more and more robust actually.
okay, sir. Okay.
So if particular stage is getting failed, right, you need to get the alert notification why it got failed, what is the reason, right? If it is passed also, you need to get some alert notification that okay, stage one has passed, now it is stage two. Oh, stage two has passed. Oh, okay, stage three, like that. If all the stages are getting passed, then it means that your whole build is success. The way how the freestyle project works, right, where everything has to execute it and finally it has to pass, right? You need to get a success measure. Same thing like that pipeline also. Each stage has to get passed actually. Am I clear on this, sir? Till here.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's a simple step. It is not that difficult, right? So don't if you say, sir, Rajesh, this itself is difficult means then don't expect things to be easier, guys. Actually, if you think easier, I'll tell you one thing. If you always think that oh things should be always easier, man, why DevOps means DevOps is easier? No, DevOps is not easier. DevOps is tough only. But you have to make it easier. How you make it easier? By practicing again and again. Suppose you think that okay, Rajesh, this itself is difficult to understand, man. I can't understand this. It has to be more simpler. So guys, if you are always adapting, or if you are thinking that things should be simple, then you please make sure that you will be replaced at any point of time. It means that you'll get replaced any point of time if you think that it should be simple. No, it should not be simple. Yeah, but if you want to make things simple for yourself, for your understanding, you have to make things simple. Means you have to practice n number of times so that the things will become very easy. First time you might feel difficult. Second time when you start working out, oh, little bit comfortable, you feel okay, something I understand. Fourth, fifth, sixth time when you start building or when you start writing Jenkins file, right, you will become very easy. If you're writing for 10th time, 15th time, 20 projects you have built, you're writing a Jenkins file, right? You will see that it will become a cakewalk, like for you, it becomes very easy for you. So that's what you need to learn actually. It means that you need to practice it so much that actually that thing should become easy. Now, what happens? Some people will say that Rajesh, There are some things are there where, like Docker commands are so many are there, Kubernetes, so many concepts or commands are there, which I don't remember it. Yeah, why? Because what happened now, guys, when we are learning or when we are understanding anything, right? At the initial stage, you need to remember all the commands, you need to write down everything notepad or in a note paper and all, that is all fine. But when you start practicing more and more, no, those everything, whatever you've written in notepad, no, that should come to your mind, that should come to your knowledge now. Now, when you are working, suppose you say that Rajesh, yesterday you executed so many Git command, man, I don't remember. If you say today also, Rajesh, I don't remember, it means that you are mugging up all the commands. So never do that activity. Never ever mug up any kind of a command. That command you should practice so many times that that command should become a part of your existing knowledge. Sir, how things will become so easy, you are having some knowledge already. If the whatever you're learning, if that becomes a part of your knowledge, do you think that you will forget it? No, right? So always you'll be in touch with that topic. So that's the reason what happened for every topic, guys. You need to, you need to practice so much that the whole stuff, whatever you are practicing, right, that should become a part of your existing knowledge. Then only you will remember all the things. You need not to ask anybody. You need not to even write in a paper and keep it in a thing, right? But you should practice it every day. Once you're practicing, once you're doing it, yeah, now you will start remembering things. So if you go for interview, you need not to scratch your head. Sir, that command I remember, I don't remember. Sir, something I executed like that. Don't tell in a vague way to the interviewer that yeah, I executed that. I remember that was something like that, sir. But now I don't tell all these things because they're not there to listen all your nonsense, right? They are waiting. They are sitting to listen the proper perfect answer from you. So when you can deliver a perfect answer to the interviewer, right? When you are having a complete knowledge, it means the whole knowledge has been printed in your mind. The whole thing is in there in your mind. Then how that will get printed in mind? Practice regularly, sir. So today we might have write this pipeline 2 or 3 or 4 example, but in a real time when you start working, when you start doing it, you need to write minimum some 20 pipelines you have to write. Oh, okay, Rajesh, today I need to implement some Node.js pipeline or Node.js project. Oh, instead of writing a freestyle project, let me write in a pipeline. Okay, fine. Oh, today I need to write a project which will build a Kafka, right? Which will build a Kafka. Okay, instead of writing a freestyle project, let me write in a pipeline. Like that, whatever the things which you come to your mind, right? Okay, I can build it. I can build it. Okay, instead of writing a freestyle project, let me write in a pipeline. Like that, the thing should come to your mind, guys. Then only what happened, right? If you start practicing everything, like yeah, you will get a hold on the topic and the subject. Correct? So do you agree with these statements, guys? What are I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's how things will become very easy if you are practicing a lot of time. So I practice a lot of time, right? So you could see that from last 1 month, nothing is going in my mind except Jenkins. I'm practicing Jenkins. I'm living Jenkins. I'm thinking Jenkins while eating. I'm thinking Jenkins. So that's how I'm every day. I'm thinking. I'm practicing. That's the reason it becomes very easy for me because I'm practicing a lot. Same example again. I'm writing, practicing in my AWS account. Right? I log into server, practice it. Now I'm getting a hold something. Okay, I'm understanding now. So now tomorrow what happened? Right? If I'm introduced to some complex project, right? Yeah, initially you will feel hurdles. Oh, you're not able to understand some things. Google it out. Try to learn everything, what every each and every step. Now what happened? Once you start learning each and every step carefully, one after the other, then you will get a hold on that. Okay, this is what it happens. So never ever miss anything without understanding, guys. If you're missing anything to understand, right, you're going to the further step. Oh, it means that there's a knowledge gap. So then that will create a problem for your understanding. Never ever go. Suppose here you need to understand, like in the pipeline, you need to understand also, okay, this what build step stage one does, what stage two does. You need to understand everything. If you say that Rajesh, I don't want to understand this, I'm very much curious to understand the stage two and stage three, then you are missing something. Your knowledge will not be fulfilled. So same way, whenever you have seen any kind of a Azure DevOps pipeline or a GitLab pipeline code, whenever you are seeing the code might be looking like 300 or 400 lines of code might be looking. It might be looking very like a big mountain in front of you. But what happens, right? When you slowly, carefully watch step by step, stage by stage, right? It becomes very simple and very easy. It is not that complicated. Only that what happens, things will look like a complicated, but you have to make it easy. How you make it easy? Continuous practice it. Continuously try to learn every day new things. Okay. When you start working on a real time projects, right? Make use of all the knowledge whatever you have in the pipeline. Make use of all the knowledge, and then of course Google is there. right? You will be having some reference code will be there, which somebody has written it. Go through his reference code, try to understand what is written, and you need to do any kind of a tweaking in your project, tweak in your project. In that way only you will learn the things, guys. There's no other way. Do you agree with me with these statements?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's how you have to learn, guys. There is no other shortcut. You have to learn in a proper way, perfect way, practice n number of times so that that remains in your memory. And of course, yeah, you can maintain a notes. Yeah, maintaining notes is always good because you need to ultimately refer to the notes also. Correct? One day you need to refer to the notes also. So that's the reason maintain your own notes so that you will be referring to the notes. Somebody has written the notes. If you try to read it, you will not understand. If you are maintaining your own notes, you will understand everything. If you open your notes, even after 1 year also, you will be recalling everything whatever you learned. So that's the reason always maintain your own notes. Don't refer to other person's notes. You can refer it for your reference, but ultimately at the end of the day, you need to have your own notes. Clear, guys? So today I'm writing the own notes. This is everything is there in my mind. I'm just typing whatever is there in my mind. But what happened when you're reading it, you need to sync with what I was thinking. So that will not happen every time. So hence what happened, right? You maintain your own notes. This is for your reference. Obviously, you need these notes and all. But I'm just telling you that it is my personal request to all that you maintain your own notes at every point of time. So now, guys, what we will do now, because we already crossed some time now, it's just 1 hour 11 minutes. Okay, we will write one example now. So where I'll be implementing the scripted pipeline. So what we'll be doing, you are having a game of life. So I'll be writing a scripted pipelining for our game of life, for scripted pipelining for the game of life. Correct, guys? So what I will do, I'll go to my not Jenkins, sorry, I'll go to my AWS account. So you know that in yesterday's in the node 1, right? That is nothing but the label is JDK8, right? Where I had did a like code pull of our game of life, right? That game of life demo is already there in that. So what I will do, I'll try to implement there actually. Okay. So now what I will do, guys, I'll go to the node 1. Okay. Before that, let me go to here dashboard. Let me go to the manage Jenkins and see the nodes, manage nodes. Okay. Yeah, it is up and running fine. Okay. This is connected because I need to run what are the pipeline I'm writing, right? I'll be running under the node 1 or under the label JDK8. That's the reason. Okay, fine. Now what I will do, I will try to log into the node 1. So node 1 login, copy this public IP, go to the downloads directory where I have this putty.exe. Okay, load this one and give the IP address and open it. Okay, guys. So we are logged into the server now, node 1 server. Now, if you don't realize, yesterday you remember that we had game of life demo, and inside that we have a game of life demo. Here we have the source code actually, correct? Now, if you look into the Git branch, see, okay, Rajesh, you are sitting in the sprint one underscore develop branch. Okay, here only you're doing changes. So, Rajesh, let me write a pipeline. So, to write a pipeline, you need to create, and this is your source code, guys, and you need to create always a file with the name Jenkins file with this name. So, let me do one thing. Let me create first file. Touch Jenkins file. So, always J should be capital and all others should be small actually. Created this file. Okay, Rajesh, you create a file. So, there's a file with the name Jenkins file. Okay, good. Now you need to write your scripted pipeline. So to do that, you need to open that file. So first you do a VI and just say Jenkins file. Okay, sorry, VI Jenkins file. So Rajesh, as per what you said, right, I need to follow this syntax for writing your Jenkins file. Yes, you need to follow this syntax. Good. So how to do that? Go back here. So now what happened that you go to the insert mode, just say node and open the bracket. So what is a label? Under which label? So because I need to build a game of life under the node 1. So under the node 1 and node 1, you have already set the label as a JDK8. Let me give the label JDK8. Here, open the bracket and here close the bracket like this. Okay. This is a scripted pipeline you are writing, guys, actually. And after that, according to the syntax, Rajesh, I need to use the stage actually. Okay, fine. Go here, give one tab. Okay, just write stage. So what is the first stage you are writing? Oh, okay, I need to build a game of life project. Oh, I need to first have the source code actually. Okay, just say source code. Open the bracket, close the bracket. So between this, open the bracket and the close the bracket, you need to write the build step actually. What is a build step you are writing? Build step is that, Rajesh, I need to do a code pull from the GitHub repository. So to do that, what you do, guys, you go to your syntax. Here, same thing again. Select the Git, okay, because all the source code is meant in the Git. Okay, here you are already given the game of life here, and you are working on this sprint underscore develop. You just generate the snippet. So just copy this whole content like this, and go to your server and just paste it like this. Right? So this is your first stage. Right? Second stage. What is the second stage, the guys you are doing? So you can even write a comment also here. Suppose like you can write a comment. Some people, they want something to be comment so that you will understand it. Like for example, so what you will write, guys? Get the, this is a comment. It is not really required. Get the code from Git repo. Like this, you will write a comment, but it is not really required. Some people write the comment also just for their understanding. So this is like a comment actually. Okay, fine. After that, what exactly the stage two you are writing? So what you're doing, guys, in the stage two, you need to build the code. Build the code. That means that basically you're trying to invoke. So you have to open the bracket and you have to close the bracket. So always make sure that these brackets are always mandatory, right? And what you have to do here, basically you need to build the code. So you need to build the code. So you need to write the command. I'm just saying you need to build the code. To build the code, you're calling a Maven tool to build the code. Okay. Now if you go to the syntax here, so you need to check here whether I have anything like a Maven, MAVN or MVN. Can you check? Is there anything by name MVN, MVN, MVN? Oh no, Rajesh, there is nothing like MVN. Okay. But there is something, okay, shell is there. Okay, shell. Let me take this shell actually. Oh, I need a shell. For that, I need to give this parameter, or you need to pass mbn clean package. Now, when you do a generate it, it has generated it. Okay, copy this and then paste it here. Guys, is it too difficult to understand?
No, sir. Rajesh, sir,
Okay.
I have one question.
No.
Yes, sir.
So, like, if we did not find any package, no, there, sir, like, we don't have a Maven here, like,
Hmm.
so some other repository package also, if we did not find, can we add it to the Jenkins?
See, either there could be something like where like you will not have it actually, but you need to have a related command you need to have actually.
Oh,
If you
okay.
have a command, then you need to call the shell actually. Or else what happened? Suppose you are working on the Windows actually. So Windows, you are trying to build everything in Windows. So there is a batch file is there. Then you have to call the PowerShell actually.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. Yes. So now after this, what you have to do that you need to write one more stage here. So what after the build, what you're doing, guys? Can you tell me? You're archiving, right? And you're doing the test results, right? So archiving and test results. So now open the bracket, close the bracket. See, you should always do this. Always make a habit of like this, and then give a tab. Now you need to archive it actually. So to archive or to create, you need to create a test results. You know that you are using a JUnit. So if you go to here, is there any by name JUnit is there? Here see JUnit is there. For this I'm having it. Okay, JUnit is there. Okay. What is it, guys? You will be giving. So you know that for the JUnit, you know that you will always be giving like this */ surefire hyphen reports dash star.xml. You remember, right? You have to always give, right, because all your testing reports will be there under surefire reports, right? Under the star.xml, all the XML files are there. What about these things? Oh, I need not to give any other things, man. Just generate the pipeline script. See, it has generated it. See, just copy this and paste it here. That's all. After that, you say that, Rajesh, what are the var or here, right? That it has to be archived. I need to display it actually, right? So for that, what you'll do an archive. So go here to the syntax. You could see that search for archive. Yeah, archive the artifact. Oh, it is there, man. Okay. What are the files to be archived? Oh, you know that, Rajesh. you know that under the targets, so star, so there is something like a star.var is there. That is what I need all the var files, generate it. See, archive.factory. Just copy this and paste it here only. Is it fine, guys? So here, what else? What else you have? Okay. Okay.
Email configuration, sir.
We will be doing that later. Now, just we are writing a very simple way. Simple, whatever we are having a freestyle project, the same freestyle project, we are converting into the pipeline. That's all. So in the freestyle project, I didn't use any kind of email notification at all. So I'm not doing it here. Later we will do it. Don't worry. Suppose if any one of the stage will get failed, you need to send an alert through via the email. So that we will be seeing later. So that I'll be doing in a post build activity.
Can we do it that JDK 8 label node?
Because you are running
node configuration also we can do it through Groovy script, right? The scripted configuration using the script. The
you
same
can do, but the syntax is different there, sir. Actually, here what happened in the scripted pipelining, it starts with the pipeline. It will not start with the node. Node will always be used whenever you are using the scripted pipeline. So this is a legacy way. This is the older way of doing it. Now in the newer version, even though legacy is supported, right? But people have started writing the declarative pipeline style. In the declarative pipeline style, you will be writing with this. The syntax for declarative pipeline is something like this. It starts the pipeline, and it will be like this actually. So you'll be learning even the declarative pipeline. Now you'll say that Rajesh, you have written the scripted pipeline in the game of life. The same game of life can I write in a declarative pipeline with this method? Yes, you can write it. So I'll be showing even that also. How to write the same thing in the declarative pipeline. Am I clear, sir? So guys, is it really looking very difficult for you to understand? It is simple, right? So don't even think that it is very difficult or I can't understand. No, just remove all those clutters from your mind now. So never ever think it is very simple. You have to make yourself everything simple to understand. So now guys, so it is there. So it means that this pipeline, a simple pipeline, you have written it. So now I will save this file. So basically what I did guys here, under your sprint one underscore develop branch, here you have written a file by name Jenkins file, and this is the content. So let me do one thing. Let me copy this content and I'll keep a note of it actually. So write a pipeline for building game of project. Game of life project. So what is syntax? This is a syntax you'll be writing, or this is a script you'll be writing, right? Okay. So now what I will do that I need to push this changes, right? So what you'll do that if you do a git status, you know that this is a newly created file. I'll just say git add, okay, and just specify the file name Jenkins file. Now we need to do a git commit -m. What is it, guys? I need to commit -m is added Jenkins file, right? And then specify the file name. Now you have to do a git push origin and just say sprint underscore develop, because you're doing a build activity, okay, using a day build onto the same branch into this sprint one underscore develop branch. Enter. So it is asking for the username. You know that tech leads 23 is a username. So yesterday we discussed all these things. And what is the password? Okay, Rajesh, I have already have a token, right? Where is the token I maintained yesterday, guys? Okay, this is a token. This is a git token, right? So I need to copy paste this token. So this token will be there for up to 7 days. You know that after that it will get expired. So we'll give the token and say enter. See, you have pushed the code into your GitHub account. So if you go to the GitHub account here, where is the GitHub, guys? Here, go to the GitHub account and you are into the sprint one. Now you just refresh it. Can you see there's a file by name Jenkins file has been added now? So it is added now, right? You click on this, you could see whatever we have written, that same pipeline, it is there here. This is the scripted pipeline. Okay, good. Now, so now I need to build a project. So come back to your dashboard. So guys, one thing I need to do that here, if you see the Java alternatives, if I execute a command history command, or else if I execute the Java hyphen version, it is showing me the Java 17 only, Java 11, sorry. I need to change it to Java 8 actually. You know the trick actually. So you need to use the Java alternative command. See, there is Java alternative command, sudo update alternative Java. So this you need to do so that you are pointing your Java to your OpenJDK 8. Okay. So you give the two option and say enter. So now what happened? Now Java is pointing to your 8 version. Right, guys? So not 8 version. Fine. Now what I will do that I'll go back to my Jenkins. In the Jenkins job, I have already written something like a scripted pipeline demo. So I'm building a game of life project, right? So I'll go to your configuration. Here what happened? Building game of life using scripted pipeline. Yeah, fine. Come over here. You need not to do anything here as of now. So I'll go here. Build trigger also, I'm not really interested to do anything on build trigger. Later I will do it. I will go to my pipeline section. Under the pipeline sections. So here what happened, right? Whatever the pipeline you have, guys, like this, you are having a pipeline, right? You can blindly copy paste the whole pipeline like this. You can copy like this and you can paste it like this. So your pipeline exists here under the script pipeline. Or else you say that Rajesh, already I have maintained everything in Jenkins file. I'm not really looking to that. I want to get the pipeline script from the SCM. So this is what the people always use it. They always select to go with the script line from SCM. Select this, come over here. What is an SCM? It is a Git. Okay. What is the repository URL? Sir, this is my repository URL. Okay, this is the Git repository URL. Copy this, paste over here. Okay, what is, you need to do any credentials? No, I need to do. What is the branch using? Oh, I'm using that sprint one underscore develop branch. Okay. Good. Come down here. What is the script name? The same file name, sir. So that's all, guys. You just say apply and save it. So you're having a scripted pipeline for your game of life. Now you have to just say build now. If you click on the build now, can you see that, guys? There is something like a new view has come now, the stage view. See here, it is showing you like a stage view. Every stages it is executed. See, first the source code is executed. Now, if you highlight here, you could see you can go to the logs also. See, it is showing the logs what it is doing. Now, later next is the build code. See, building the code. You can go to the log, see, and archiving the result. See, now you got a different view, which you call the stage view. It means that there are different stages are there. Source code is there, build the code is there, and archiving the test. Whatever you are using here, right? See the stage name, source code. See the same name it is coming over here. Build the code. See, archiving the test results. Everything is there, guys. So you can individually can go through each and every stage and I can check the log. Or else you can go over here also. Click on this. It will directly take you to the console output. See the console output. See, you're running onto the node one actually. And here you could see that it is doing a code. It is doing a code build, and then it is doing all the various activity. And finally, at the end, you could see that it is archiving the results, recording the test results, and finally, the test case is sorry, the whole it is getting passed like this. See, so in this way, guys, you will be able to understand the whole, uh, you know, the whole pipeline, right? How exactly it works to a stage by stage. See. Now you could see that here in your script file. See, you got the artifact also like this, as well as you got even the test results also. So test results is also there, and also like your archive is also here only. See, you can download this gameoflife.war. But this is something like a new view which you have seen now, where there is a stage view for each and every stage, right? For each and every stage, whatever you are running, right? This is the different stage. For each and every stage, it will create. You can have complete stage view here. So with this stage, if any one stage is getting failed, suppose build the code has failed actually. You said that Rajesh, do I have to really run from the beginning? No, you can run from here only. You can run from the here only like that. Or else you can build from the beginning only. So each and every stage you can individually can watch how much time it is taking and all, and you can see the whole output or the logs also. So guys, this is a very simple example how we have used a scripted pipelining for our game of life. Am I clear, sir, till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. So what we'll do today, we'll stop it here. The same thing what I'll be doing in the next session, guys. Okay, I'll be explaining about the declarative pipeline. Okay, the same project, whatever the project is there, no, game of life, right? Game of life, you will be writing in a declarative style. So in a declarative style, we'll be writing. We'll be using a declarative style method to it. Same thing, we have something other projects like Spring Pet Clinic is there. So you will say that Rajesh, now you build this whole project by using the declarative method, declarative pipeline method. So guys, in the industry, not many people or not many companies are using this scripted pipelining. Now people have started working on the declarative pipeline. Declarative pipelining is having a lot of advantages compared to scripted pipelining. So hence what happened, that scripted pipeline is almost nil. Nobody uses, but somewhere some people have written a old some 6-7 years back. Somebody has written no. If they're still using it yet, yeah, they're following the scripted pipeline method. Otherwise, mostly nowadays, declarative is the only method which has been used by industry. So now from now onwards, whatever the pipeline we'll write, we'll always write the declarative pipeline. So in the next class, I'll be writing a declarative pipeline for your game of life as well as for the spring pet clinic project also. Like that, we'll be building many other projects. Tomorrow, if I'm building a Node.js project, yeah, I will build a Node.js project and I'll write a pipeline using the declarative style method only. Is it clear, guys? Till here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One
Okay.
question, like,
Yes.
right now we are only doing it for GDK8, like one label. We can do it for multiple labels in one Jenkins file, no, sir?
Yeah, you can do multiple labels also. Yes, because see, I've not gone through the reference documents of Jenkins and all. If you go to the reference document or the Jenkins script pipeline document, right? For example, if you go to the Google and if you just say Jenkins syntax pipeline, like this. So guys, this is official document of your syntax. If you click on this, right? Here you could see that, see, I'm using a various different sections. I'm using agent, post, stage, step and all. I'll be showing this and all will come under the declarative pipeline. So for the declarative pipeline, always it starts with the pipeline like this. For the scripted pipeline, if you come down, for the scripted pipeline, always it starts with a node actually, like this. So this is nothing but the scripted pipeline. This is nothing but the declarative pipeline, where it starts with the name pipeline. Now, once you come down, whatever the question which you're asking, no, see, can you see here? If you go to the agent, actually, you go to the agent, come down here, agent. Can you see here, guys? Agent label. See, you can have multiple labels, or you can even have a condition also. Label one and label two. When those both the labels are available, then only run the job. Or you can use a label one or label two. If any one label is available, also still then it should get run the job. Like that, you can even mention the conditions also. So you need to strictly follow when I am explaining you about the declarative pipeline from next class, right? You will be going through all this document, guys. We have to understand each and everything. This whole document, what I would suggest, and you need to read it out. Completely have to read it out so that whole thing is there in your mind. How to use it actually. Now, after this, if you come down slowly, can we see here somewhere in the resource section, there is something like a pipeline step reference. Okay, go to the pipeline step reference. See, this is also we'll be referring in the next class. Pipeline step reference you need to follow, and the pipeline syntax document you should follow it actually. So this is nothing but your pipeline syntax document. So let me write here. So pipeline syntax document. You need to refer to this link like this. Pipeline reference document. Document. You need to refer to this link actually. What is this things and all? We'll see later tomorrow. Don't worry, or the next class. This is the reference document. How to use it and all, we'll be learning all these things. Am I clear, sir? So this two documents you will be heavily using when you are learning a declarative pipeline. There's two documents. So we will be building few projects, right, by writing a declarative pipeline style, and we will be running it, and we will be checking how exactly things works. And there are many other things are there, as you asked, right? Like I need to send a emails notification, how to configure it, everything, right? There are many requirements are there. Based on that case, you can play around actually. 1 second, guys. Just a second. Okay, guys. Chalo then, if you don't have any other doubts, we can wind up today's session. Hmm? Naresh, Jignesh, Mahesh, Gopal sir,
Yes, sir.
are you did you understand
Yes.
today's sir?
Yes, sir. It is very clear, sir. So we
Very
know,
clear.
yeah, some of the syntax from the scripted pipeline.
Yeah,
Somehow
it's very. We
yes,
have
sir.
to understand, sir. Now moving forward, now you need to dig a lot now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it is very simple also, sir. It's not that difficult. Only some time it will take. Later, once you start learning it, things will become very easy for you.
Sir, in which if the code has any loop condition or if it comes like that, sir.
Yeah. See, there are some conditions are there, but like usually what happens, right? Some programming constructs also can be used, but that is not really advisable.
Okay, okay.
So if you see declarative pipeline everywhere, and you will not see that much actually, all looping and all for loop and all. No, we don't use it actually. Okay.
Yes.
So those are little complicated things, but yeah, people tend to avoid all using all such things. Okay, guys, chalo then. Thank you all. Okay, and happy Sunday. You can take rest
Thank you,
today.
sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll see you in
Bye.
the next week. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Good day. Bye.